Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Boston Celtics video here on the New England Sports Nation YouTube channel here on YouTube. This is the last Boston Celtics video of the 2024-2025 season. We'll have some more Celtics videos in the off season with updates on the Tatum injury and if the Celtics do any moves. They're gonna do moves, okay? I think that's a guarantee. But let's talk about this game. Obviously, we all know what happened tonight. That was atrocious. And in the Game 5 video I said, if the Celtics don't step up for the whole game, either Game 6 or if they got to Game 7, they'd lose by... They'd just lose and get destroyed. And that's exactly what happened tonight. Exactly what happened tonight. The Celtics, I can't remember the score because it was just so atrocious, but it was like at least 40 points. It was around a 40-point loss for the Celtics tonight. And it was a 40-point loss throughout the entire game. The Celtics only had 37 points at halftime, everybody. That is such an abysmal. Especially when your playoff hopes are on the line. Like, I know the Celtics got the job done last game, and that's great, but, like, I thought that was going to give the Celtics some momentum going into New York. I know the New York crowd was going to be loud, and it was, especially because of the outcome of tonight. And it was honestly the worst game you could have asked for the Celtics, especially after a win like we had. We won by 25. We won by 25 last game, and then we end up getting eliminated and lose by 40 tonight. Like, that's a crazy switch. Yeah. And I don't know if I said this in the video, but I know I said it to myself. I said this. I don't know if it was in a video. I think it was. I forgot what video. But I said, if the Celtics were going to get eliminated, I'd rather it be in New York. And that's exactly what happened. So I guess I got that wish. But this still sucks, obviously. So, because we were trying to defend the title, and it just fell off the cliff like the Bruins did in the regular season this year. So where do the Celtics go on from here? Well, you're going to see moves in the offseason. I better hope we see moves, because you're going to see a completely different Celtics team next year. You're not going to see that starting five ever again. It might sound crazy, or it might not to you guys. To me, it sounds crazy, because we only had it for 2 seasons. I thought, if you look at that lineup, especially last year when we won the NBA Finals in 2024, you would say, wow, this could be like a 2016 Warriors setup, a 2016 Cavaliers setup when those teams made it to the NBA Finals 4 years in a row, and it just crumbled to earth, really, however you want to put it. I don't know. I don't even know if that makes sense, but you guys get the point. It just came crashing down. It only lasted 2 seasons, and it was only, overall this season it was good. Like, we had over 60 wins, and we made it to the playoffs. The Celtics just ran into the worst case scenario in this series against the New York Knicks. And it's not just because, obviously, the Celtics blew the leads. And it's mainly this Tatum injury, because I've said this a million times. I'm going to say it again. This injury is going to impact next season, okay? The Celtics, the Celtics are going to look so much different for next season. It might honestly blow my own mind. It might honestly blow my own mind of how different this team is going to look next year. Because it will look different. We got to trade Porzingis, okay? No doubt about that. That's the easiest decision out there for the Celtics in the offseason. I think that the top 3 guys that have to go, I'm a little skeptical on one of them, and I'll tell you why. Porzingis has to go. That's just a definite. Everyone knows that. Every Celtics fan knows that. Porzingis has to go. Holiday would be on that list as well. He's up to 35, so he's probably got like a couple years left in his career. Obviously, that's up to him. But in my opinion, he's probably got a couple years. The one I'm skeptical about, I'm kind of 50-50 on this. Maybe Jaylen Brown might have to go. Again, I don't know if I'm kind of 50-50 on that, because he was very inconsistent in the playoffs. The reasons why I have Porzingis and Holiday higher up on the list to get traded is because they barely even showed up in the playoffs, especially Porzingis. If I had to pick the worst one, it has to be Porzingis. And nothing against him personally, obviously. It's just, nothing against him as a person, obviously. This is all about, basketball. Nothing about his personal life, obviously. I'm just making that clear here. This is all about basketball. Nothing against himself. He's a great person overall, obviously. But I don't know what happened to him in these games, honestly. And you guys are saying the same thing, because you guys seen it. Like, it was terrible. Every game was terrible. Like, man, I don't know what happened to him. Holiday, pretty much almost the same thing. I'd say Holiday's a little bit better, but not by much. But Jaylen Brown, like, he has a great Game 5, and then he goes to trash Jaylen Brown tonight, and he had some more trash games before Game 5. So that's why I'm kind of 50-50 on it. Sometimes he can be a leader, which he was in Game 5, and other times, like tonight, he's not at all. So, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about Jaylen Brown, because I'm 50-50 on it, so I'm not sure. The 3 untouchables, though. These are pretty easy. I'm pretty sure every Celtics fan would agree with me with this. The top 3 untouchables you do not trade, obviously, Jason Tatum, Derek White, Payton Pritchard. That is easily, hands down, the top 3 you keep. For a while. Pritchard won 6th Man of the Year. He definitely, in my opinion, should be a starter next year, especially because Tatum won't be there for most of the season. So Pritchard should definitely start as point guard. Derek White, amazing 3-point shooter. Even though how bad the Celtics were in this series, his 3-point shooting himself him and Tatum were probably the best 3-point shooters for the Celtics in this series. And obviously, Jason Tatum is your superstar, obviously. So you obviously keep him. So those are my 3 untouchables, and I'm pretty sure you guys agree with me with that as well. Let's talk about this game as a whole real quickly, and then we'll talk about this whole series as a whole, and then maybe I might talk about a couple things for next year, and then wrap up this video. I just want to say this real quick. I just wish the Celtics competed tonight. That's what I was asking for. I said this to myself before the game started. I knew this crowd in New York was going to be crazy loud, and it was going to be hard for the Celtics to pull out the W without Jason Tatum, even though they had a great Game 5. And I thought momentum was going to come into the Celtics tonight for this game, and it obviously did not. So that was out the window. But I just wanted the Celtics to be competitive, and they did not show that off the tip. The same old problems with the Celtics. They can't rebound. The Knicks most likely out-rebound the Celtics on the offensive boards this whole entire game, this whole entire series. Gotta be. Especially the last 2 or 3 games of this series. I'm pretty sure it was every game, though. Because the Celtics are just never good at rebounding. Even though how good the Celtics usually are, they're never good at rebounding. It doesn't make any sense. That's usually probably the easiest part. Well, I don't know if I should say the easiest, because when it comes down to rebounding, it mostly comes down to which team wants to win more. Which team has more effort to get the rebound and win the basketball game. And that was the New York Knicks the whole series. So that's that. Obviously, we all know what happened about the 3-point shooting this whole entire series, especially in the first 2 games. Also, that reminds me. I want to say how the Boston Celtics lost this series. The Boston Celtics didn't lose this series because of tonight. The Boston Celtics did... Actually, hold on. Let me make this clear so everybody can hear this. The Boston Celtics did not lose this series because of tonight. The Boston Celtics did not lose this series because of the Tatum injury. The reason the Boston Celtics lost this series was Game 2. That was the series. And I'll tell you why. The first 2 games, 20-point leads in the second half for the Boston Celtics, had a 90% chance of going up 2-0. Lost both games at home. That in itself, for any team in any sport, is so hard to come back from. Even if the Tatum injury didn't happen. Because we knew this team was definitely not as good as the Celtics 2024 playoff. The Celtics were 13-3 in the playoffs last year. 13-3. That's how good the Celtics were in the playoffs last year. And this was the Celtics this year. But once I saw Game 2 end, I was like, yeah, this is not going to end well. Obviously, the Celtics didn't get swept. Because I remember after Game 2 in the video, I'm pretty sure I said that the Celtics might get swept. They didn't. Because they had a great Game 3, and they had a great Game 5, and that was it. In general for the Celtics, that was it. Because Game 4 was another comeback for the Knicks, and that was the Tatum injury. And then Game 6, this was the best. That game for the Knicks, that was their best game of the playoffs so far that I've seen. In the whole entire playoffs so far. They won by 40. It almost got to 50 at one point. Somewhere in the second half. So that'll give a lot of momentum, I'm pretty sure, to the Knicks going into Game 1 against the Pacers. An Eastern Conference Finals. And I'll tell you what, I don't think anybody had the Knicks and the Pacers on their bingo card for the 2025 Eastern Conference Finals. There's just no way. Everyone had the Celtics and Cavaliers, I'm pretty sure. Everyone. Obviously, I did. And we got the exact opposite of that. So, I'm just trying to think of what else I need to talk to before I end this video. Because usually when I end these videos, I always have something that I forgot to say that I wanted to say in the video for the Celtics. So bear with me here as I'm trying to think. I feel like I had a list of saying I want to say something. I don't know if I covered it all. Because I already talked about the trades, the offseason. I already talked about, when Tatum's coming back in the past videos. Here, I'll go over what should be the starting five for next year. And I haven't thought about this until right now, so I don't know if this is going to be, if you guys are going to agree with me with this. But here we go. Point guard, like I said earlier, should be Payne Pritchard. I think that is one of the obvious ones to start. He won Sixth Man of the Year. So Pritchard should be at point guard. Jaylen Brown at shooting guard if we keep him. This is a lot only if we keep Jaylen Brown, because I'm 50-50 on that. I don't know if the Celtics are going to trade him away. Small forward, Derek White. If Al Horford doesn't retire, him at center. And who's going to play power forward? And if Holiday stays, I guess Holiday would be power forward. That's going to change, though. Because like I said, this team's going to make moves. I probably shouldn't have even said that starting five, because that's probably not going to be the starting five. Because it ain't going to include Porzingis, that's for sure, I'm pretty sure. I am 99% sure that Porzingis will not be in the starting five next year. So, but I think the most obvious and most likely new starter you will see for the Celtics is Payne Pritchard, in my opinion, at point guard. It has to be. It just has to be. After what we've seen, what he's done for himself this season, winning Sixth Man of the Year, I think it's pretty obvious. So, I don't know. I think that is it for this video. I think I covered everything I wanted to, because I know I'm going to forget something after I'm done recording this video. But I think I've said a lot. I also don't want to make a 30-minute video just because I'm just so depressed on how this game ended, because they weren't even competitive. I just wanted them to be competitive. If we lose, we lose, but man, 40 when your playoff hopes are on the line after winning by 25. I know you can't win every game, obviously, but I just wanted them to have a fighting chance, and they never had that. They never even had that in the first quarter. Like, you could tell. You could always tell. And you don't even have to be a Celtics fan. If you're a Knicks fan watching this, and you've seen Boston play these past 2 weeks, you know once you see the Celtics miss after miss with their shots in the first quarter, you know that they're not going to come back. They're not. That's that. Obviously, the Knicks are the complete opposite because they came back in the first 2 games. I don't have anything new on the Tatum injury as of now that I've seen. I already went over that he already had a successful surgery. I think I talked about the Jason Tatum's dad post. I still don't know if that's confirmed. I don't know if he actually said that. I haven't really looked into that. He said 8 or 9 months from that. If that's even correct, I don't know. But it's going to be a long time. Okay? It's going to be a long time. We're not escaping that part. So, just a matter of time when Tatum comes back. And, yeah, this was honestly the worst case scenario for the Boston Celtics this year to try to go back-to-back. It was really the worst case scenario. The only positives of the Celtics in this whole playoff run that they had this year was they won in the first round and they had 2 wins against New York. That's it. That's really all I can think of. So, yeah. I think I've said what I wanted to say. Thank you guys for watching this video. I'll probably have another Boston Celtics video in a couple days from now, just to talk about the overall, just a recap of the 2024 and 2025 season, because obviously they got to be talked about, because there needs to be a full video on that, because we saw the Bruins collapse like this, and now you're seeing this from the Celtics. It's just very worrying, so I'll make a full video on that. I don't know when. I'll be recapping the 2024 and 2025 season all together in a video, and probably after that for Boston Celtics coverage, there'll probably be more updates on the Tatum injury when we get them in the future. So, yeah. Thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it. This sucked. If I had to sum this up in 2 words, I would say this sucked. A lot. So, yeah. So, that'll do it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out, everybody.